This screencast will give you an introduction to the Metavid project. You can learn more about Metavid at metavid.org. Metavid started with two art students attempting to do political mashups incorporating footage of the representatives. They discovered the only footage available was in a proprietary archive at $60 an hour and forbid reuse online. This seemed like a high cost to pay for public domain footage. As a thesis project, they decided to build an archive to make this content available for free without restrictions to download and reuse. Our library quickly grew, and we realized we needed better tools for online communities to engage with this material. With a grant from the Sunlight Foundation, we've been working on building a powerful platform for community participation with this legislative audio-video archive. This screencast will give you an overview of the Metavid archive and the metavidWiki software. This overview covers simple searching and viewing, reposting clips to your blog, using RSS feeds, helping improve the archive, making sequences, and advanced searches. We'll start with searching. Here we can look for anything that was spoken in the past 2 years of footage that we have captured. Depending on what we're looking for, we may start with a broad query. Let's do surveillance. We do a search for surveillance. We notice we have quite a few results. You can expand any of these in line and play them. So here's this response. We then may want to refine our search to times surveillance was mentioned this year. So we can go ahead and do that. We set the start date in January 1st, 2008, and run the search again. And then we get every time surveillance was mentioned this year, and say we want to just focus on a particular person. We can say every time surveillance was mentioned by Christopher Bond, and rerun the search. This generates a list of clips of Christopher Bond mentioning surveillance this year. This is an RSS feed and gives you some other functionality. You can also use OR operators to keep track of several senators mentioning something. So let's do a query for Iraq. We see we get thousands and thousands of results. But then we limit it by saying it's either spoken by Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama. Let's have that OR operator, and then we run it again. So then we get a subset of clips. And say we search through these clips, and we find a clip that we'd like to reuse.
Each month, this misguided war costs us a staggering $10 billion.
So say we like that clip, and we want to reuse it. The Metavid makes both the embed code and download links available in every time that the video is displayed. So in this case, let's look at blogging clips. Here we just have to grab this embed code, copy it, go to our Blogger account, paste in the HTML, give it a title, Iraq, and we can publish the post, and then view our blog. And it should show up right there in line. Here it is. People can either play it inline in their browser,
Seriously,
in full screen,
this misguided war costs us a staggering
or stop it. They can also download a version if they want to download to local disk. Copies of all our clips are hosted on archive.org in a number of different formats. And what's important is that also when you embed the clip, it provides a link back to Metavid to provide users of your blog with the context for the clip that you've selected. This is a valuable feature, so you can sort of see what led up to the quote that's been selected in a particular blog. Continuing right along, we'll talk a little bit about RSS feeds. Again, every time you do searches, it creates an RSS feed. So in this case, we have our search of Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama, and it creates the RSS feed here that we can scroll through. We can add it using our live bookmarks of Firefox, or we can plug it into programs like Miro. Here's a separate example of subscription to every time Dennis Kucinich appears on the floor in the Miro application. We can also use it in your iGoogle or your My Yahoo or whatever all these portal sites names are. If we go ahead and add that here, we can then go back to the iGoogle home, and here we have matches by Hillary Clinton. We can pull up the different clips and link into the video stream. In this case, that one's not available, but anyway. Okay, so the RSS feeds can be accessed in lots of different ways. Well, moving on to the metavidWiki stream interface, now that you've seen all those searches, we have to sort of look at how we maintain and improve that metadata. We can look at the stream interface. So here, this is the stream interface for Synod proceeding in August 1st of 2007. It's got two timelines here, one for the annotative layer and one for the actual text transcripts. The separation is useful for sort of tagging long ranges of text as a given thing. In this case, it's been tagged as opening prayer. If we click on through, we can see everything that's been tagged as opening prayer. So these are all the opening prayers from the floor. And this is, of course, a category that's been assigned just through text input. So we just say category opening prayer, and that says from start time 19 seconds to 2 minutes, and that assigns that range of text, that metadata. You can click through and sort of play different clips here. So here's Harry Reid giving some talk. Looks like he's talking about the morning schedule as it's been tagged here. You can stop that. You can sort of shift things around. So if we play here, this is a few seconds before Harry Reid comes on screen. So let's go ahead and improve this the sync of this metadata by increasing this to maybe 37. We can hit show preview. It looks like it comes off 42 here, so let's just do 42. Show preview one more time. That looks like it's just about right, so we'll go ahead and save it. That'll update this. Now the speech by Harry Reid is more aligned with when he comes on the screen. And this can also happen for text transcripts too. You sort of edit them and improve the transcript layer. The more people that sort of participate in that way will improve the archive. So let's also, for streams that don't have transcripts yet, we can add new transcript, or we can add a new tag or annotation layer, only one at a time. But so we tag annotation layer as well, so you can manually set the in out points for those added temporal metadata, as we call it. Okay. There's also tools for sort of navigating. You notice we're only looking at the first 20 minutes of the stream, so there's the first few speeches here for the first 20 minutes, but we can continue on this through the stream with these little forward and next buttons, and we also can directly modify the URL. I don't know if you can see that. Here you go, right here. There's stream tools for sort of managing layers, which we won't go into, but enables sort of doing translations or just separating different metadata layer sets. You can also navigate the whole stream here by jumping around with these little sliders, sort of get a feel for where you are in the stream. So that's the basic stream interface. Now we'll quickly cover sequences. Sequences are a way for metavid participants to sort of group together sets of clips that they find interesting, or just sort of make an edit list of clips that they want to share, and then they can embed like a playlist, so it's like rather than just one clip, it's a sequence of clips. Here we have just a test sequence that we've been working on. We can edit that, and it'll pull up the little in-browser sequence editor. We can sort of go around, zoom in, zoom out, basic video editor stuff, set in and out points of the clips, rearrange them, then play from the beginning. Updates down here. So and then we can add, of course, any segment from any clip that's within the archive. Set the in and out points, and then say maybe just 10-second clip. We can add to the end of the sequence. So then we have that clip added. And again, it's a basic sequence editor, it's nothing fancy, but as the site evolves, I imagine we can make continued improvements on this portion of the site. And then you can, of course, save the sequence or embed it into blogs and things. Now we're going to quickly cover some of the more advanced features of metavid. We've done a pretty substantial screen scrape of several of the Congress data sites out there, including MapLight and GovTrack, to sort of provide additional metadata on a per person, per bill, per interest group level, and sort of relate all those properties with semantic MediaWiki. So essentially, here's a person's page. We have Brian Dorgan. Here's the last few speeches he's given with the categories that they've been in. Here's the interest contributions, bills that he's sponsored, bills that he's co-sponsored. What's neat about once we have all this data in a structured semantic wiki system, we can do sort of arbitrary queries on that data. So we can do things, I don't know if you can read that very well, but here we say search by, we want to have all the speeches by anybody that's received more than $1 million from the interest group attorney and law firms. And we can do that, run that query, and we get the set of speeches by people that have received more than $1 million from that interest group. If we click through to this person, we can confirm that their contributions from attorney and laws exceed $1 million. Also here, and so in that way you can imagine structuring even more advanced queries for doing that sort of thing. And metavidWiki is free software built on free software. It's an extension to MediaWiki. It also extends semantic MediaWiki, as you saw earlier with the semantic queries, and is built on a lot of tools from the Ziff Foundation, because we use all open source video, and also use Anodex technologies to structure our metadata and serve up portions of OggStream and support in-browser playback through their Ogg plugin. I mean, lots of ways to play it back. Because metavid is open source, we've already seen some great applications. Aside from our Congress video data set, there's some people in some open source hackers in Missoula that have pointed at their city council. It looks like a very promising project. And, well, there's more of where that came from if you want to go check out metavid.org. We hope that online communities wishing to engage with archives of audiovisual media or user-contributed audiovisual media will make use of this free software to adapt to their specific needs. Metavid would, of course, like to thank the Sunlight Foundation for the grant to work on this project for the past year, and also the University of California, Santa Cruz for hosting our site. Thanks, and I hope that you enjoyed this screencast.